All right, we are live. Is the sound quality good, guys? The first question that I always ask. Okay, I'll assume that it is nice. Everything's fine, right? I think. Yeah. Cool. All right, Umang, thank you for that. There's always that feeling that I have that is anyone even listening or, I mean, able to hear. So, hi, everyone. Hi to all of you who are on the live chat. Hi to everyone who's actually tuning in on Christmas Eve to this live broadcast. So, what I wanted to give you guys is an update in terms of what we'll be focusing on next year. And it's going to be a pretty theoretical and very focused year in terms of interview preparation, and especially what I'm thinking about recently is system design. So there's a lot of topics that I've been preparing for. These topics actually system design takes a lot of time to actually prepare, and I have some really nice topics geared up. But what I want to do is I also want to ask you guys, what would you want to have as topics in system design? So it's mainly a conversation that we guys are going to have, and then we can actually put it on a poll later on and see which one has the highest votes. Based on that, I'll be choosing the most voted topic. Of course, don't go too much off the track. It's system design, anything under system design. So designing systems, let's say, yeah. And after that, if we do get the time, then we'll be talking about algorithms and like interview puzzles, stuff that we can do. But that's that's evergreen. It keeps happening all the time. So yeah, we'll be doing that later. So one of the topics I've thought of is designing Instagram. Right. This is something that a lot of people have actually asked me. The reason I have been taking so much time to actually do this is because I had released one video on designing Instagram, which I had taken as a lecture in DirectEye. The difference mainly was that the people who work at DirectEye already know quite a bit about coding, about writing good code, and a little bit about system design also. And I'm talking about guys who are in SD1, just people who have just started coding. And so that kind of audience is a very niche audience. Teaching them is quite easy. When I did put up the video, it was something which didn't really resonate with a lot of people, to be honest with you. So I think it was my fault that I didn't clarify a lot of points over there. So I'll be remaking that Instagram design video again. So a little bit from the scratch should help. And yeah, that's one idea that I have. So guys, yeah, okay. Santosh is saying basics of system design. That's correct. I have got this suggestion a lot of times, basics of system design. The reason I avoid basics of system design is because it's actually complicated. Speaking about the basics also, because it talks about all the prerequisites that you need. And the prerequisites actually are easily met if you start designing systems or start working in an internship or stuff like that. So that's one of the things. I haven't been making too many intro to system design videos, although I have one intro to the system design video in the playlist itself. But yes, I can make more on basics. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about in terms of system design is low-level system design. Okay. Machine learning, Gyan, Nitish, I don't know about machine learning. All right. So there won't be any machine learning series over here for at least 1 to 2 years. So you'll probably need to look somewhere else. Main reason being that it doesn't really interest me, maybe. Yeah, I haven't worked on machine learning or haven't studied it much. The time that I did study it, it took me too much time for the returns I got. So I'm a little skeptical. So Yash, Merry Christmas. Mohammed, hey. And this live stream is about the agenda of this live stream is going to be getting topics for next year. This is not a technical discussion. So in case you want to, you're expecting something which is going to be solving a problem, or in which we are going to actually be talking about something technical, it's not the case. If you don't have any topics to add, which might be perfectly reasonable. I mean, if you are young or something, or if you're not interested also, then this is not actually solving a problem. So this live stream is mainly about getting suggestions and then converting that. Okay, we have Vineet who says make a series on standard data structures and algorithms instead of problems. Now, this is a suggestion I've got quite a few times, and the reason I don't do this is because it has already been done a lot by a lot of different people. And if I want to customize this to an extreme extent, it's going to get a lot of viewers and it's going to get a lot of money, but it doesn't really interest me because it's already there. I mean, it's not something customized or new for people. So I don't think it's going to add value, Vinita. I'm sorry. Okay, we have. People are tagging me in the comments. Can we have some system design patterns videos? That's interesting. And in fact, when I said low-level system design, what I'm going to be talking about stuff like caching, like actually coding a cache, and then other stuff like coding a rate limiter, coding stuff which is something that you can think of as a structure, as a design thing, right? This channel has always been focused on algorithms. We are going to be moving slowly as to practical application of algorithms. Like a rate limiter is going to have an algorithm inside it. This is going to allow it to limit the requests that it's actually serving. So it should be very interesting, and it should be a discussion where we talk about algorithms, we talk about how we are going to actually do them, and then how we are going to do them in a nice way, right? People who are pretty experienced people, they are more concerned about getting things done than a theoretical, core behind it. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a very interesting year. I have gotten your feedback on the recent turn that this channel took towards very, informal kind of videos. It was an interesting turn, and I think it was the right thing to do, experimenting. But I also understand that the core part of this channel, most of you subscribers, are here for serious content. And what I'll be doing is I'll be posting all the fun stuff, so to speak, on Instagram and on Facebook. And this channel will be focused on, system design, on algorithms, and on interview preparation. And we'll be trying to save as much time as possible for people. That's also one of the purposes of this channel, is to save as much time possible for a person who's trying to study. How to contact me for VNet in Nagpur? You can send me an email, but I'm actually completely swamped with work, so I'm sorry. In fact, one of the updates that I wanted to give you was I won't be releasing any new videos till New Year, mainly because work pressure's pretty high, and it's going to be some fun actually building the systems that we are at Uber till New Year especially. So yeah, just wish me the best of luck. Maybe it's gonna be a tough ride. Uber's actually fun, by the way, in case anyone's interested. Yeah, you can apply. Okay, Deep. Yeah, so Samanto is asking in which year system design is taught in colleges. Now, system design is taught in colleges never. It's touched on, software engineering principles are touched on in 4th year in my college. Okay, one more topic for system design. I have already mentioned rate limiter. I mentioned cache, which is usually LRU cache. I'm going to code this. Apart from this, what else can we do? We can be also making things which are load balancers. No, they're complicated systems. Consistent hashing, coding it is really not something that people do a lot in a system design interview. So Bloom filters might be one of the things, but really, is it adding any value? I don't think so. So I'll just go through your comments and look for a topic. System design pattern videos. Yes, this is a good idea. I'll just note it down. System design patterns. So similar to coding patterns, except that when you have a particular problem for a system in terms of looking at it from an architectural standpoint, is there a particular way in which you can deal with this problem, like adding a rate limiter or adding a load balancer here or making it distributed? Yeah, I think there's some interesting things that we can talk about over there, especially there's a lot of recent examples I'm coming up with. So yeah, it should be fun. Sumanta Paul, microprocessors, no way. Ravi Sagar, okay, thank you so much, Ravi. Live participation again, Mohammed. I'm too old for that. I guess I don't participate live in any contest anymore. So yeah. Okay, how can I get a job in Uber? Well, you can apply. Mudad Mudassir. Yes, I'm sorry. My pronunciation is pretty bad. Okay. Good. We are nearly out of comments. So your suggestions are also nearly done. Where is system designer used? What a question. It's used in building systems, Nisarg. Securing the application, that's a pretty good uh, suggestion by Akash Gupta. Um, yes, I think securing the application is a good idea. So how do we make these applications secure? So authentication services. I think we can actually talk about this in depth. And of course, I have an entire list of things that um, I'll be writing down over here, which I already have thought of. So that should help. Kafka implementation, database sharing. So messaging queues, Yogesh, you can have a look on the channel in the system design playlist. It already exists. If you want further details on Kafka, I suggest you read documentation. It's actually something that I've been using quite often, in different places. So it's nice. Kafka. Database sharding in details. Again, I made a video on this already, Yogesh. So maybe you can have a look at the system design series already. Okay. Aman, congratulations. You got an internship. Yogesh says designing a database. Now, instead of designing a database, what I'm going to be talking about is possibly replication and possibly indexing. So I think it's a good idea. I'm just going to call it indexing and replication. Something like Cassandra does. Yeah, Cassandra internally to me just feels like a normal database which has been replicated, sharded, and then has a load balancer on top of it and has consensus algorithms. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, and that's how you design a database these days, I guess. What is the basic requirement for Uber? Okay, concurrency design patterns. Concurrency, yes, Makbul, that's a really good idea. Concurrency. I'm just noting that down. Okay, there's a lot of people who are talking about Kafka, which is quite interesting. Kafka is, it's a message queue. If you think of it in a simplistic way, and it's got a lot of topics which kind of make it like you need to distribute the messages across Kafka. So you can think about load balancing also over there. And then there is pointers in Kafka, like you point to a particular message. So different people have different reading points. Yeah, you have read 10 messages, your friend might have read 20 messages. So it's like an event-driven architecture. All these videos have been taken on the channel. So I suggest you go through them. Can I take it in more detail? Perhaps, yes. I can talk about Kafka in depth, but I'd rather touch on the other topics first before we come back to the main, talking about products one by one. Naveen, is computer programming helpful for experienced 5 years? It could be if you're looking for a job change. If you're looking for algorithm practice, it's a really nice way. However, if you're wanting to make your resume stand out, it's one of the most difficult ways, computer programming, after 5 years. For your resume to stand out because of computer programming, it's not relevant to the job anymore. But if you like it, then it helps you build your algorithms, and it's also fun. I mean, if you like it, you don't really need a reason, do you? So yeah, it's actually going to be the other way around. Then you need a reason to stop doing it then. So that's the best thing. Sumit Kumar, blockchain. Okay, you're on the wrong channel. Umang Sharma, design URL. Okay, design tiny URL. This is also one possibility that is a system design video. So I'll just note it down. Although I think Tushar Roy already has a video on this. So if you're really interested, you can have a go look at his channel. Amitoj Singh, internships if companies don't come to a college. Is that a statement, a question? Scalability video, Umang. Again, it already exists. Wow, I guess I've taken a lot of videos on system design then. Most of the videos that I'm getting, I mean, the suggestions I'm getting here are things that I've already done. Okay, Asif Iqbal is asking an interesting question. He says, how do I shard a relational database where a join is compulsory? And this is a very interesting question because it's a custom question. And I suggest, I really need to shout out to Asif Iqbal. It's a great question. Thank you so much. If you need a join across shards, it's going to be a pain. What you can do is replication. So different kind of queries will have different shards where they'll go to. And what you'll do is you'll have the data replicated in different places. Depending on your query, you're going to index the data in a different way. That's one possibility. There are other more painful possibilities. I'll be talking about these when we are talking about designing Instagram, but that's one of the, I think, the most easy way to do it. Cassandra has this concept where you design tables not based on what data you need to store, but what you need to query. So it's an interesting way to think about querying your data, sharding relational databases. If you're not ready to use, I mean, if you're going to shard a relational database and you need cross shard joins, it's going to be painful, of course. I mean, you can do it, but it's going to be painful. That's all. And the way you do it is just by doing a join. So, yeah. Vinash, how do I learn algorithms? Okay. Makbul, Kafka is great for building. Okay, yeah, that's true, Makbul. Dude, when I appeared, okay, I just missed that message. Where did I? Yes. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I just lost the messages. Yeah, over here. It's right here. Yeah. Blockchain. Okay. So Sai appeared for Uber, it seems like. Okay, this is interesting. Sai was asked to design Book My Show, and there's no video on YouTube for that. So that's a good suggestion. Book My Show is is a booking site. It's very similar to booking a flight or booking a hotel, from what I can understand. But yeah, we can have a look at that too. Is there any codependency between academia and industry? Yes, there is, Soumyaji. The academia should be pushing the industry, and it does. So we have some really good colleges which actually build things used by the industry. Language I use at work. Or can we make a authentication system using accelerometer sensor? Utter nonsense. Okay. Good place to apply for internships for a second year student. My suggestion would be to apply everywhere that you possibly can. If you have worked on a particular thing, then try to apply to those companies. Also, of course, look out for companies which are looking for interns. Yeah. I think we have answered this question a lot of times, so I'll just skip it. Ravish is asking an interesting question. If you have worked for 1 to 2 years and you are looking for a job switch, should you be talking about algorithms a lot? Yes, you need to brush up on your algorithms. I recently interviewed for Uber and I had to brush up my algorithms. Although I had 4 years of experience, you need to clear the algorithm interviews and basically go through the filter that they have. So to do that, you need to have some problem solving skills. Vishwesh Soni, if only you could make the question more specific. Um, okay, I think we are again nearly out of comments, so that's really nice. Akash is talking about parallel computing. Well, distributed systems is what we talked about, so it'll be covered within that. All right. Trending videos. Did you get in contact with IITians in your company? Yeah, there's quite a few actually. There are quite a few in Direct AI too. So yeah, and there were quite a few in Morgan Stanley too. Yeah, so it's quite a interesting set of people we have. Okay, wow, we are nearly out of questions. Also, series. Makbul is talking about some topics. I think again we can look at them later. Do we need to learn algorithms? Oh God. Yes. All right. So, what are the things I have in mind for system design? Well, designing tic-tac-toe. We are going to be talking about design patterns used in a game, let's say. Usually tic-tac-toe, but we are going to make it a little complicated. Chess, let's say. System design also consists of actually building a large-scale logging system, right? That's also something which is pretty important. We can also have something like Google Docs. And okay, so I think the best suggestions over here are by Makbul and a few others, and by me. So yeah, that's how it is. It seems like apply for GSOC is ML preferred in software dev post. Oh, all right, all right, all right, all right. So I'm just going to skim over the comments. And Hussein is going to get banned for the channel because the poor guy talked about PewDiePie versus T series. Too bad. I don't want nonsense over here, except the dancing bit. That's perfectly fine. I really like a TS Tri series. What is the promising sector of work opportunity? Investment banking or e-commerce? Guys, I mean, should I keep banning people? I don't know. No, I'll just leave you this time. Mridul, you just survived. Compare programming help a software engineer or platform engineer is what Shashank is asking. Well, it doesn't, but it improves your intellect. So I think we've talked about this again. My marks are not good. Can I apply? Yeah, I guess you can. What are you doing before Uber? Absolutely nothing. TCS Code Vita. Tell me more about Priyank Vyas. Well, I got an All India rank 20 there. So in case you're interested. How come you're so happy and cheerful in your videos always? Akash, thank you. Ashish, thank you. Again, what do you think of? Okay, I'm just going to delete this comment by Vishwesh Soni. It's a. Should I remove the user from the channel? I'm so tempted, but no, I won't. I'll be a nice guy today. It's Christmas after all. So, okay. Swamijit is asking a question which is quite subjective. Yash, what are your views on degree and dropouts? Okay. Nisarg is asking a general question. Guys, I agree that asking a general question is fine sometimes, but I just wonder if it's relevant to the channel. I'll tell you what. Okay, Nisarg is asking a question. How do I monetize my videos? And I'll be upfront about this. Ads are one way that we can monetize our videos. There's some cash that YouTube pays. Of course, if your audience is in India, then a lot of their ad companies are all in the US. So there's not too much money to make in India, but it's good. It's sustainable. And apart from that, of course, you can monetize in various ways. So I mean, you have to go offline then, yeah, of course. Most of them are write a good test. What are your source of knowledge, resources, books? I've already talked about this in the previous video, Mayank. Maybe you should watch this channel. Okay, build a lightweight API. Yeah, okay. This is interesting again. So this has skipped my mind. API design is what Zine Computer Rights says. I'm sure that's the real name. When you're designing an API, you need to know about what you should accept, what you should return, what kind of errors you should return. And this is, in fact, a very common thing in a system design interview. So thank you so much for that. We can take that in probably the next system design interview, maybe. Yeah. Okay, Nikhil is asking, can you give a brief of your work without going into too much detail? Well, I deal with the financial side of Uber. There's stuff on finance in Uber, and we try to automate a lot of systems, try to make them reliable, scalable, and really, useful. So yeah, that's what I do. Rigved Kumar asks, are your video set good for studying system design from scratch? I think so. I think that if you have worked for a year, you should be able to get nearly all the videos. If you're looking for something which is even more basic, then you could either work on those or you can use the high scalability blog. Although, to be honest with you, I found the high scalability blog to be way above the concept that I teach, because over there they're talking about real world systems which are extremely high scale, while I talk about things which are like load balancing and stuff. So I think my video series is pretty good for a beginner, and it's almost enough for system design interviews. For I mean, I won't say SD3, but SD2, it is enough. The current state of things, it should be enough. Now, don't hold me to that and say that I went through your playlist and I didn't get selected for this job. Maybe there's a lot of background knowledge that I already have, which I don't say in the videos, but I don't think so. I think it's pretty good. So if you're applying for SD2 or SD1, going through the system design playlist will benefit you, according to me. And that's what was the goal of that playlist. Okay, good ML projects is Prabhat Kumar Sahu. And we have multi-threading. What's up? What's up? Good. I think again we are. I mean, every time I get hopeful that we are running out of comments, but then we have some interesting comments coming up. Okay, Shushrut, I just said machine learning is not the thing, so I'll just put you in timeout. Yeah, it's Christmas Eve. I'm alone over here answering your questions. It's not it's not the best of times. So yeah, boom. What have you thought about your YouTube channel's future? Anything specific full time? Tushar, this is the thing. Someone asks something which is for them, and I delete their message, and someone asks something about me, and I get all hopeful and excited. So yeah, human after all. Well, what I want this channel to do is I want this channel to grow, and I want this channel to grow in a way which adds a lot of value to people. It's also something that I personally find useful. The channel. I recently realized this when I was going through a lot of the system design videos. I went through them myself, to kind of get a better understanding of how to design a system. Also, the algorithms are useful, but I never use algorithms, to be honest. The algorithms that I use are either so customized that I have to read them on the internet anyway. It's not through computer programming that I'll be able to figure it out, or I know them well enough that I don't need to actually watch a video. However, if you are looking for a particular concept in an algorithm for a contest, like let's say game theory or something, then you can just go and look at that. In fact, I had one of the world finalists at Uber tell me that my game theory video was pretty nice. It was on Sprague-Grundy theorem. Yeah, Grundy numbers. Yeah. So it's been attested. What do you? All right. Thank you, Tushar, for that. See, I'm a nice guy. You take interviews at your company. Yeah. What's the difference between software engineer and computer science? Okay, I just skipped a lot of comments, and we are coming to Merry Christmas. All right, Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you for that. What are the next comments, by the way? Tech stack you're working on. Is nobody having any suggestions for system design videos, guys? None? Or have I covered all of them? Or have I already noted down all of them? So I'm not really sure what you guys are talking about. Maybe I should start banning everyone who's speaking irrelevant stuff like coding contests. That should help the chat, shouldn't it? Okay, I think I'll do that. Should I just Sonak Gupta? I'll just put you in timeout. Yeah. I'm doing web development. Okay, yeah. Shubham Kapoor has a relevant question, thankfully. I'm doing web development, and how does system design help me to make an advanced application? Well, web development involves users. So web development is something which is separate. Let's say that you have an application which you're using as a web developer. That application is going to be used by millions of users. If it's a successful app, And that's where system design comes in. If you're not very sure what system design is, then you can have a look at the videos and then come back over here. Right? It's going to take you at least a day, so should be off. Please write a blog site, and I wish to meet you as a person, just to meet a great legend before I die. Is everything okay, Akash? I mean, if you're not fine, then you should go to a doc. Talking about death is it's very sensitive for my delicate sentiments. Do I support TCs or PewDiePie? Guy gets banned from the channel. Poor fellow. No, he's not a poor fellow. I mean, he's stupid. So, what additional things you had to learn from switch to DirectI to Uber? Not much actually. I had to just brush up on my algos and system design. Keshav Lakhotia is talking about segment trees and stuff. I have made quite a few videos. You can just go through a tree series. There's tries, there's segment trees, there's heavy light decomposition, which I'm going to make maybe someday. I mean, it's coming, but it's taking too much time. Wow, guys, you're really good at this. Thank you so much for the suggestions and so many comments. It's actually we are always close to ending, but it's just not ending. So there's quite a few comments to go, and then I'll be telling you the topics that I have thought about for system design. Okay, how you got the director interview? Okay, just give me a minute. I'll just go through the comments and find if there's any useful one. Prabhat Kumar Sahu is asking, is there anything funny or awkward or terrifying that we have had with system design in the real world? I have written a blog. There's a WordPress blog that I have. I actually share it on the community post. Sometimes you can have a look on some of the war stories that I've had working at DirectI and Morgan Stanley. It's kind of fun. Okay, Asif is talking about designing a SQL database. Okay, yeah, I've gone through half of the comments. Microservices, Mahesh. Okay, we always talk about microservices, by the way. Content delivery networks. Huh, finally, one sensible comment. So, Chandra Prab, thank you so much for that. Content delivery networks. Yes, I'm going to be talking about that. So, it's like a cache. It's for static data. And it's more difficult than it looks. I mean, Netflix is almost entirely based on content delivery networks, if you think of it. Although their static data are actually videos, so that's huge. So yeah. Advanced topics in system design. What do you mean by advanced topics, Shubhrata? I mean, I would love for you to put up the topics because I'm actually looking for topics right now. Although I have a lot in the sheet that I made for system design also. Designing YouTube. Interesting. Designing Netflix or designing YouTube is going to be one of the videos which is coming up when I'm taking case studies, and it should be fun. Okay, videos as soon as possible. Okay, Vinay Pathak is talking about placements. System design is not so relevant to placements, to be honest with you. Uh, I mean, if you're looking for placements in college, they're not going to be asking you so advanced topics. They are going to be asking you topics like algorithms and your projects and theory. I've already talked about this in the previous interview video. So yeah, designing a system like Uber. That's interesting. So design Uber. I'll get fired after that. What it? No, I'll be talking about a generic ride sharing app or just a sharing app. Not a ride sharing app. It's actually a ride calling app. So let's see. Let's see if I can actually get to that and not get fired. All right. Okay, okay. Okay, Akash is asking for any updates for Gaurav versus Rachit Jain episodes. Yes, we are going to be taking them, but if it's going to be a light-hearted thing or if it's more related to HR or something, I'll probably be posting them on Facebook or Instagram. I think Rachit will also be doing the same. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, that's how it's going to be. Natasha Sehgal, are you ignoring my question? What is your question, Natasha Sehgal? How do you stay motivated through your college, even though not having much computer programming culture in your college? I have already answered this, so I'll just hide you from the channel. Pretty brutal that way, am I not? Cap theorem versus computer programming. Oh, cap theorem. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Cap theorem. I wonder how I actually missed that. So, is it better to learn SQL? Any load balancing can CP compensate for Twitch? Okay, designing Twitch. I don't really know whether that's going to be useful. Sumit Kumar has, do I know about security in details? Okay, I have already mentioned that. So, Akash Gupta. Oh, Rachit is already here. So, shout out to Rachit. Hey, Rachit. Hey, Gaurav. Hey, Rachit. So, it should be fun. Designing a system for Twitter. So, at the rate Lokesh, um, Twitter. So one of the things that I wonder that maybe I and Rachit can together take a system design video. Would that be fun for you guys? You know, designing Microsoft and Uber. Yeah, two engineers from Microsoft and Uber, respectively, design a system. What should we design? What's common between Uber and Microsoft? Except that they have engineers who are on YouTube designing and talking to the whole world. Okay. Prabhat Kumar Sahu is very general questions. I'll put you on timeout. Thank you so much. Okay, I've had enough. So I'm just going to go through my list, which is a good list of system design videos that I have, primarily because I've been thinking about this for a very long time. So designing Instagram, designing Google Maps, capacity planning. How do you actually calculate the back of the envelope calculations that we talk about? That's one of the things that I'd really like to talk about. There's also another guy gets banned. Too bad. Master slave architecture. That's one thing which is nice. Designing WhatsApp, designing basically a text messaging system, right? It can be Facebook Messenger, it can be WhatsApp. Now, designing Instagram is also going to have the concept of sending a message to all of your followers, sending a notification, and that's something which is very important for a news feed. So, designing a news feed is going to be coming inside it itself, and that's going to be interesting. Designing Google Docs is another thing that we can talk about. Probably me and Rachit, we have both discussed this question a few times, so that should be fun. It's going to be giving you a lot of database stuff and concurrency and passing deltas and stuff like that. A lot of optimizations to be done over there, so that should be interesting. Location-based services, designing them. So someone was talking about designing Uber. We can design stuff which is like Google Maps that I've already talked about above. But a location-based service is something which looks at your location, Swiggy, Zomato, stuff like that, and then gives you the service based on two people. All right. So yeah, that's something which is quite interesting. Low-level system design is something that I've already mentioned. Highly scalable tic-tac-toe is something which is quite interesting. Okay, I think that's pretty much the thing that we have for system design. NoSQL database is another thing, of course, that I can be talking about. And yes, that is it. Wow, guys. Oh, one final thing. I'll just copy paste from the doc itself, and that is service discovery. So that's pretty nice. Okay, there's a lot of people who have sent a lot of messages right now, and a lot of people are going to get banned. I don't really know why. People ask Corman and silly algorithms, to be honest with you. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, I'm just going to be putting this in a poll. I don't really know whether a poll of 10 or 15 topics is going to add value, but what I can do is I can actually trim it down to just 5 topics or 4 topics, and I can see that how it's going. Based on your votes, I'll be picking up the topics in order. So, and of course, also based on my preparation, because it's better to give you guys something than just prepare and prepare and prepare all day. And the update mainly is that we are going to be focusing on system design as the new year comes in. After that, we'll be going for other things. And also, the other update to give here is that I won't be able to make any videos till new year. So if you have any suggestions, or I mean, of course, if you have, you want to vote for this new series, then I would suggest you start voting immediately. Wow, Aman Shukla just paid me 20 rupees right when I was about to leave. What does this tell you? So, Aman, do you have any question? Has Aman asked a question? See what 20 rupees does? Yeah. I mean, if I think about it, the amount that Uber pays me and the total amount that I make, and then if I take it in terms of per hour charge that I should have, it's a particular amount, let's say X, and it's more than 20 rupees. But the moment a person sends 20 rupees, I go like, what do you want, Aman? Yes, Aman, do you have any question? Or yes, well, anyone basically. Okay, Aman just paid 400 rupees, and I don't know what to say. Thank you, but why, Aman? I mean, now I'm not so interested in your question as knowing why did you send those 400 rupees right here. I mean, if it's a donation, that's great. You could also be a channel member, by the way, Aman, and you'll be able to chat over here with all those emojis, and your name is going to stand out. By the way, Rachit is not a channel member. Did you guys notice that? Yeah, he's not special. Too bad. Okay, so now what else do we have? Some load balancing algorithms. That's my flatmate. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be talking about everything that we have been discussing in this video. Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye-bye.